Developing story in the NFL. There is more fallout from the explosive New York Times report on Deshaun Watson. The story said that he had massage appointments with 66 different women. 24 women have pending civil lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct. Now, the report said that the security director of the Texans, Watson's team at the time, provided non-disclosure agreements. And moments ago, Tony Busby, the lawyer representing the 24 women, said he will make the Texans a co-defendant in the lawsuits. He further claimed that the team provided hotel rooms and massage tables for the massages. Watson does not face criminal charges, but the NFL has been investigating whether he violated its code of conduct. NFL insider Kimberly A. Martin joining us now. You have these new allegations. You have these new lawsuits. This is a team, the Browns, that gave this guy a $230 million guaranteed contract. What's their reaction here to what we're hearing the last couple of days?
Kevin, if you thought the Browns were going to have a reaction to the latest allegations, the latest stories, you've not been paying attention, because the Browns made their decision in terms of trading for Deshaun Watson back in March. They understood they were comfortable making this trade with the 22 different women in lawsuits already filed against him. So at this point, we know that the Browns are tied to Deshaun Watson. They are comfortable with Deshaun Watson. I asked Andrew Berry specifically in that press conference when they introduced Deshaun Watson, if he was not this talented, would we be having this conversation? He said, Kimberly, we feel good and very comfortable with the person that we need to know about the Browns.
All right, so the Browns are awaiting word on any potential discipline by the league here for Watson. Baker Mayfield has been excused from mandatory minicamp next week. Is this team comfortable if Watson's suspended with Jacoby Brissett as their starting quarterback in the fall?
There's a point where I actually talked to people within the organization about Baker. They clearly want to get rid of him, but they're not going to get rid of him for nothing, because they understand that this Deshaun Watson situation has not been resolved yet. But this is why you sign a Jacoby Brissett, because you feel comfortable with him. He is going to be a stopgap. You know, at some point, Deshaun Watson will be on the field. But until then, you have options. It may not be the best option, but this is why they went out and got two different quarterbacks to put in their QB room, knowing that they were going to move on from Baker Mayfield at some point this offseason.
Keep in mind, too, they owe $19 million to Baker Mayfield. That is guaranteed for this upcoming season. The Browns open up their season week 1 at Carolina before hosting the Jets and the Steelers. Kimberly, thank you so much. El?
The Cleveland Browns have been saying all week, including today, that they're just going to respect the process when it comes to Deshaun Watson. The issue is at some point they're going to have to account for what the process was for them and how the process that's going on with an investigation that the league is conducting also includes more accusations. That's part of the process too. And that includes an incredibly eye-opening and stomach-turning report in the New York Times from yesterday. Jenny Vrentas, she did some due diligence that clearly the Browns did not. And went through the depositions, did her own reporting. And it appears, according to the New York Times, that Deshaun Watson employed not one, not 24, because that's just the 24 lawsuits that have been filed against him civilly based on his behavior in these massages. 66 different masseuses in 17 months. 66. Many of them he found on Instagram. Many of them he direct messaged to contract their services. And one of whom did not appreciate his advances and even put on social media some exchanges that the two of them had and warned him, I could destroy you, which led to a member of the Texan security staff furnishing him with an NDA, a non-disclosure arrangement for him to give to the strangers who he's getting massages from, including some that he would reach out to. And this is the bizarre stuff. Again, I don't understand why a big-time athlete would need the services of 66 different individuals to work on the most important part of his career, his physical well-being. And some of them, wanting to do it within the hour. Chris, you be the person who the one person in my life who works on me, because that's what I would do. One person who works on me.
I'm a tiny Israeli man.
I'm calling you. I'm calling you up, and I'm saying to you, hey, are you available for a massage at 8 o'clock tonight?
Actually, I can't do it. Is there any time tomorrow?
How about in the next half hour?
Wait, what?
No. Or if I'm desperate, I do reach out to the one person who's, maybe because I make millions of dollars, I've contracted to work for me at any point I need you.
Right.
How does that conversation go? Hey, are you free at 8 o'clock tonight?
Well, I'm your employee, so yes.
Yes. Why do you need to contact strangers through Instagram? What's up with that? And then the behavior that these women tell the New York Times, and also have told through depositions, the behavior that they're describing. If you're going through Instagram and you're doing this, the only thing you can just, by reading all of this, the only word that you come up with is predatory. This must be accounted for. The process can no longer just be respected if the respect was not paid to even reach out to an accuser to find out what she's got to say before you give all of this money to the quarterback, who does need to account for this in the court of public opinion if he is going to be allowed to play football. These things must be rectified. This circle must be squared. And time is running out because he's showing up for work next week. Will he not meet with the media? Will he not answer these questions? Will the process be respected then? These are absolutely questions that must be answered and addressed for a fan base that the team intends to place this quarterback in front of and ask them to root for him. And for a sport that intends to ask the fan base to understand that this stuff cannot stand either, without an answer to it. 66 different people. And what's with the NDA about? And if the Texans did provide him with a space in a local club that he was using for these massages to take place in, did they pay for his room? I mean, this opens up a whole different avenue of conversations as part of the process is being respected. Albert Breer coming up in a moment. This has many more questions about it now than we had yesterday and the day before, which is why I'm continuing to talk about this in the manner in which I'm talking about it. I mean, you read it and you're like, makes no sense at all. And then the last part about it, again, based on this story that included some details from the 24th lawsuit that came just the other day, and the comment comes back from Watson's attorneys that they can't comment on at the moment because their investigative team needs to look into this person whose name was unfamiliar to them until she filed. And then the last line is Deshaun Watson says that he never did anything inappropriate with these women. Another role play, Chris.
I'm ready.
Let's say I'm accused in a lawsuit of the same stuff that Deshaun Watson was accused of in the 24th lawsuit.
Okay.
Go ahead and ask me if for comment on it.
Hey, Rich, a lot of things coming out
Yes.
about you right now.
Yeah.
Would you care to comment on the situation?
Yeah. Are you kidding me? I would never do such a thing. Are you kidding me? You need to look into the window of my soul. Here it is. I would never do anything like that. Not, well, we can't respond at this time. We got to look into it. Look into what? You said he didn't do it. You said he never did any of this stuff. That should be the top storyline. None of this makes sense. And I want it so badly to work out for this guy who I believed in from the minute I spoke a word to him when he was in Clemson. I so want to believe that that's the guy who that guy is today. But you look at everything that this whole world that he was living in for 17 months. And you've got to sit here if you're the Browns and say, have you worked on this issue, Deshaun? Because you got an issue. Before we put you on the field. And the league's just got to put him on the commissioner's exempt list until this whole thing gets figured out. There could be a 25th, a 26th lawsuit coming. How do we know that's the end of it?